There are two very different kinds of AI agents in the world, and right now it feels like everyone is hyper fixated on one of.
Before buying any platform, steal this. A personal assistant can be messy, only you use it. For one person, markdown can stay simple. A production agent answers customers, touches records, and has to fail predictably. Asks who gets hurt when it's wrong. If it can affect customers, employees, or money, you need a real context layer.
And so everything for a personal agent is markdown driven. It really doesn't matter what you build for yourself or what you use off the shelf like Hermes.
I agree with the boundary, but I would make it less dramatic. Markdown is not bad architecture. Markdown is a great personal interface. The problem starts when you ask it to behave like a database, a permission system, a search service, and an audit log at the same time. A production agent needs to know which customer record it can read, what fields are current, and which action is allowed. A folder of notes can describe those things, but it doesn't enforce them. That's where builders get into trouble. Want the best AI tools and workflows as they drop? Join the best AI community, linked in the description.
So here we're using a database to scale. Markdown doesn't cut it anymore. We can't just have a Hermes or Claude Code wiki for production.
This is the cleanest lesson in the video. Your agent needs at least two kinds of context. First, business facts like orders, tickets, products, permissions, and account status. Second, user memory like preferences and past decisions. Those are not the same thing. Business facts should be fresh and permission. Memory should be personal, editable, and deletable. If your agent shoves both into one giant prompt, it may work in a demo, but it becomes hard to debug, hard to secure, and expensive to run.
So for the demonstration that I have for you today, I'm going to be using Redis. This is the best platform that I could use for a demonstration of both.
This is where I would keep my skepticism switched on. Cole discloses the Redis relationship, which is good. The product claims also check out. But a sponsored demo naturally makes one platform look like the center of the architecture. The pattern is bigger than Redis. You need structured business access, memory, caching, freshness, and permissions. Redis Iris bundles a lot of that. Another team might use Postgres, vector search, a custom service layer, and strict app level auth. Do not buy the product before you understand the shape of the problem.
So going back to our database, this is our key value store that houses a bunch of mock data for an e-commerce store. I picked this as the example because
This demo is useful because the data has shape. Customers are records with fields, owners, and history. Orders are records with status, line items, and delivery promises. Products and shipments are separate things with relationships. That is what a production agent needs before it answers a customer. The risk is when people hear MCP and think the protocol magically understands their business. It doesn't. You still have to model the records, decide what is searchable, decide what is private, and decide which tool calls are safe for each user.
and so again, the context retriever is for the business data, things like the customers or orders. And so the way that it works, when we start with our.
This is the line I would underline. MCP is useful plumbing. It gives the agent a consistent way to call tools, but it does not solve the hard product questions by itself. The data current. Is the user allowed to see it? Does the answer need exact records or approximate search? What happens when the tool is down? Those decisions live below MCP in the data layer and the application. So yes, generated tools are powerful, but only if the surface underneath them is governed.
And so now that we have the entities defined, this is the intelligence part that I was talking about. After you work through the setup process to create.
Auto-generated tools are exciting, but they create a new review job. If the agent sees too many similar tools, it can pick the wrong one. If a tool is too broad, it can leak information. If a tool name is vague, the model may use it for the wrong task. The production move is to design the menu before you expose the database. Give the system narrow tools with clear names, scoped keys, and logs you can inspect later.
So I'll show you in just a second what this looks like in the database, but my favorite part about this entire system is the fact that we're storing the short-term.
This is the part that looks magical in demos and messy in products. Remembering that a customer wants free shipments is genuinely useful. But now you own a memory system. Can the user inspect it? Can they delete it? How long does it live? Nanas, what facts are too sensitive to store? What happens when a memory is wrong? Long-term memory is a technical feature, a product policy, a privacy policy, and a debugging surface.
And so there you go. That's everything you need to know on what it takes to build the architecture for production agents. And Redis Iris is a phenomenal platform.
Here is my decision tree. If the agent only helps you think, write, and organize your own work, keep the setup simple. Use Markdown, a wiki, or whatever local workflow you will actually maintain. If the agent answers other people, reads company records, or takes actions, the blast radius changed. Now you need identity, permissions, fresh data, tool logs, memory rules, and cost controls. Redis Iris is one credible package for that layer. The bigger lesson is that production agents are not smarter because they have more context. They are safer because the context is controlled. Want the best AI tools and workflows as they drop? Join the best AI community linked in the description.